one, government conspiracies.
They're using RT and they're using social media influencers and artificial intelligence.
What allegations the Justice Department is making towards Russia. Surgical accident.
The loss of my bill was exceptionally unnecessary and brutal.
A widow seeking justice for the untimely death of husband. And FIU says dale to their new football stadium name.
That was an announcement that was heard around the world.
Reactions from the students and its players. These stories and more coming up on Newsbreak.
Hello, South Florida. I'm Ivani Lewski.
I'm Samantha Gutierrez. Today is Friday, September 6, 2024.
Live from the Lee Caplin School of Journalism and Media in North Miami, this is Caplin News.
A second arrest following a high school tragedy. 2 family members are behind bars this morning following a deadly mass shooting at a school.
Yesterday, officials in a rural county near Atlanta arrested 54-year-old Caplin Gray. He was taken into custody in connection to a deadly school shooting Wednesday at Appalachia High School. Back in May, the family responded to accusations that an online threat to school was made allegedly by the son.
Have you heard anybody on Discord when you were using it say something like that? Do you remember?
Like at that time?
Yeah.
I don't think so.
I mean, I'm not trying to get anybody hemmed up, but like this is some serious stuff.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, he knows how serious it is, trust me.
I'd hate to, my boss was even like, I don't know how old this information is, and if you want to wait till Monday to follow up, I was like, nah, I'd rather do it now, because
so do we.
Because God forbid something happened and I didn't do my job, I'd feel pretty bad about this.
Caplin Gray said to police that he gave the suspect, Cole Gray, the AR-15 style rifle used in the killings as a Christmas present.
The Justice Department alleges the Russian government is behind a widespread, covert effort to control information you get online. The goal, to affect how you vote in the November presidential election and Russian perception. Caplin's Julian Davis has more on the story.
They have become much more clever and sophisticated.
The Biden administration says Russia has been spending millions to influence the U.S. election and other issues through social media. The Justice Department says it has indicted 2 employees of the Kremlin media arm, RT. It alleges they were part of an almost $10 million scheme to set up and direct a Tennessee-based front company. It says the goal was to produce divisive online content. A U.S. official identifies the company as Tenet Media.
We know they're using RT and they're using social media influencers and artificial intelligence to sow disinformation and to push their own policies.
Tenet Media is a network of right-wing commentators, including some with millions of subscribers. It lists Betty Johnson and Tim Pool on its website. Both say they were victims of RT's efforts and have maintained editorial control of their content. In RT's response to allegations, a spokesperson quips, 2016 called, and it wants its cliches back.
The American people are entitled to know when a foreign power is attempting to exploit our country's free exchange of ideas in order to send around its own propaganda.
For Caplin News, I'm Julian Davis.
A fun getaway for a married couple turns into a surgical tragedy. An Alabama man went in for spleen removal while on vacation in Destin. Instead, doctors removed the wrong organ. WEAR's Kears Harmon has more on the story.
Beverly Bryan and her husband Bill traveled from Muscle Shoals, Alabama to enjoy a vacation at their condo in Destin. While they were there, her husband began feeling pain on his left side.
So we went to Sacred Heart on the Emerald Coast, and he was admitted and became a patient of Dr. Sheknovsky's.
After running tests, she says, doctors identified a cyst that had ruptured and bled around his spleen. She says she wanted to bring her husband back to North Alabama to see his own doctors.
Dr. Sheknovsky said that Bill would bleed to death if he was moved.
On Wednesday, August 21st, Bill underwent surgery to remove his spleen. By that evening, Bill was dead.
They took him from us while he was completely helpless on the operating room table. They removed his liver instead of his spleen. So, of course, he bled to death on the operating room table.
According to a report from Ascension Sacred Heart Emerald Coast, Dr. Thomas Sheknovsky is identified as the primary surgeon. Attorney Joe Zarzer, who was hired by the family, gave us what is called the operative documentation from the hospital. When Brian went into surgery, Zarzer says that's when something went wrong. The report says Brian lost a lot of blood during the procedure and his blood pressure dropped, abruptly sending him into cardiac arrest. Efforts to resuscitate him were unsuccessful.
Dr. Shachnovsky was intending to take the spleen out. When the spleen was sent to pathology at the hospital, the pathologist at the hospital, after the procedure was over, said this is not a spleen, this is a liver.
Ascension Sacred Heart Emerald Coast did not answer our questions about the incident or about Dr. Shachnovsky's relationship with the hospital following the incident, releasing only this statement. Our thoughts and prayers are with the family. Sacred Heart Emerald Coast's leadership is investigating this matter. The Walton County Sheriff's Office is also investigating Brian's death. In a statement, it says it is reviewing the facts to determine if anything criminal took place. The agency also asking for the public's patience, as it says these cases are, quote, extremely complex and take time to investigate. Brian says her husband leaves behind 3 children and 8 grandchildren. She described him as honest, kind, and dependable, saying he deserves justice.
Our family and community is devastated by what's happened, and we feel that it is our duty to spread awareness and warn others.
That was WEAR's Cares Harmon reporting. The Bryan family plans to file a civil lawsuit.
September is Baby Safety Month. This morning, we're sharing life-saving information every parent or caregiver should know, from choking hazards to protections against illnesses like the common cold, RSV, and the flu. Caplin's Melissa Builder reports on baby safety risks in your home you may be overlooking.
September is a perfect time for awareness when it comes to the safety of babies. From choking hazards to protecting against respiratory illnesses, there's a lot that goes into keeping young children safe.
Babies, most of their shots don't start until after 6 months. So in that newborn period, we want to make sure that we are really helping to keep that kind of bubble of safety around the infant when their immune system is really weak.
Cleaning frequently used surfaces with soap and water, sanitizing regularly. Davis says using a cleaning solution or spray can kill most bacteria and viruses. And disinfecting around once or twice every couple of weeks with bleach or alcohol.
You want to make sure that you go back over it and wipe it down with some soap and water so that they're not accidentally ingesting bleach or one of those other chemicals that you might have used to clean.
Davis says to rid homes of visible hazards that may tempt a toddler or crawling infant. That can be things like electrical outlets, vents where fingers can get stuck, or small items on the floor that can end up in a mouth. She says to also lock up cleaning supplies in cabinets and store potentially dangerous things like laundry pots in a place little hands can't get into.
We want to make sure that we're doing the things like washing their hands after they've been out and playing and before they eat, so they're not exposing themselves unnecessarily.
For Caplin News, I'm Melissa Builder.
Summer 2024 is set to become the hottest year on record. Scientists have confirmed that this summer season broke global heat records for the 2nd consecutive year. New data from Copernicus shows that summer in the northern hemisphere from June to August was the hottest since 1940. Many countries have broken their national records, such as Australia, whose temperatures reached nearly 107 degrees.
YouTube announced plans for the creation of tools that will detect and manage the content made with AI. In a blog post posted yesterday, YouTube said its first 2 AI detection tools will focus on identifying singing voices, while the second will target AI-generated faces. This update comes after multiple celebrities have spoken up against seeing their images and likeliness digitally copied and altered for inappropriate use.
NFL season is back in action with Game 1 going down to the wire.
That's still ahead, and so is the story.
I love Pitbull, 305 till I die, so I'm super excited.
FIU's football team is ready to have the time of their lives at their newly named home. Newsbreak will be back in 2 minutes.
Radcliffe Art and Design Incubator is the velocity accompanying the fellow's rudder, as in a boat. Unless there is movement or action, the planned direction is of little consequence. We encourage the creative ideas into action, and from the experience of doing, we critically assess the feedback, adjust, and set out to rediscover the potentialities of an entrepreneurial mindset.
Stem is precise, no margin for error.
Dare to forget that. Dare to have fun with it. Get weird with it. Dare to send those old STEM theories flying past the neighbor's house into outer space. Dare to program something internet-breaking, record-breaking. Dare to blow their minds. Dare to learn the difference between sedimentary and metamorphic rock. Go find those rocks. Dare to keep daring. Dare to STEM. Check out She Can STEM to get started.
Mr. Worldwide Stadium getting ready for an epic start of the college football season. This morning, Pitbull Stadium is getting ready to make its debut on gridiron tomorrow when the Panthers take on Central Michigan.
Caplin's Anthony Cruz caught a glimpse of the field before kickoff.
A special night, an important tradition for all of our FIU Panthers.
Not a single touchdown has yet to be thrown in between the walls of Pitbull Stadium. But the roar from the Panthers was heard on the field, as its bright lights were shining on many new students making their way through all the events happening on their first official night on campus.
So as you can see, this event covers a lot of bases for incoming freshmen, as President Jessel said. Over there, as you saw, we had a lot of fun with the volleyball court. We have DJs over there, and then we have a lot of more essential stuff, like, you know, the SGA government. We have Greek life over there, and we have just a lot of things for FIU students to get involved immediately.
But staff, athletes, and students alike all had one thing on the top of their minds.
Oh my God, being in Pitbull Stadium, that was an announcement that was heard around the world. The best possible naming we could have, and everybody loves it, and it's named after a wonderful individual that really supports education and students.
That's lit. I think it's pretty lit. I think it's a cool thing that we added, and it'll be a great opportunity for us.
I love Pitbull, 305 till I die. So I'm super excited that it's now Pitbull Stadium.
Panthers have energy, they have power. Pitbull has energy, he has power. Combined, we're like 10 times the power and strength together.
After getting their extra kick of 305, the FIU Panthers will look to say dale to their 2024 homestand when they take on Central Michigan on September 7th. Reporting for Caplin News, I'm Anthony Cruz.
The NFL season kicks off with a heated game between the Kansas City Chiefs and the Baltimore Ravens. Thousands watched, including pop icon Taylor Swift, as the Chiefs held the lead for the majority of the game, with rookie Xavier Worthy scoring 2 touchdowns. It came down to the last play of the game, where Lamar Jackson found Isaiah Likely at the back of the end zone for a touchdown. However, replays show Likely's toe was out of bounds, reversing the call. The final score was Chiefs 27, Ravens 20.
As football fans rejoice at the return of the NFL season, Marlins fans are left frustrated after a devastating loss against the Phillies. It was all Philadelphia, as the Phillies scored 4 runs in the 6th inning to give them the commanding lead. The Marlins tried to make some noise in the late innings, but couldn't capitalize as they were shut down at the bottom of the 9th. The final score was Philadelphia 5, Marlins 2. Game 2 against the Phillies is tonight at 7:10. You're watching Newsbreak. We're coming right back.
See us dream. See us remember. See us protest.
You matter. Your feelings matter. Your identity matters. Everything about who you are matters.
See us fight back. See us rebuild. See us shatter stereotypes. See us inspire. See us united. See us now.
There are 16 million children struggling with hunger in America. That's 1 in 5 daughters, sons, neighbors, and classmates who don't know where their next meal is coming from. Yet billions of pounds of good food go to waste every year. It's time we do something about it. Feeding America is a nationwide network of food banks that helps provide meals to millions of kids and families in need. Visit feedingamerica.org to help them feed even more. Together, we can solve hunger. Together, we're feeding America.
That's all the time we have for Newsbreak. I'm Samantha Gutierrez.
I'm Ivani Lewski. Get more news anytime at caplinnews.fiu.edu.